Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Last Week in Geek, the weekly video podcast brought to you by Manly Battleships. I'm Mr. Panda.
And I'm Roxstar.
And I am in need of a haircut. So says the guy down at BonsaiCon, who called me a, quote, late-night version of JonTron.
I mean, they're not wrong. You really should cut your hair.
Uh-huh.
So before we get to cutting Panda's hair, we're going to talk about all the nice trailers that came out because San Diego Comic-Con is a thing, and apparently...
Except, surprise, we're going to ZenkaiCon. There you go.
Do you want to do the con updates now? You can.
No, I just wanted to shout out we're going to ZenkaiCon. I don't need to remind anybody else about the cons right now. Otacon's this weekend. Hope to see you there. There, we're done.
So enough talking about cons. We're going to talk and start off with It Chapter 2. I mean,
looks just as scary as you would expect.
Coming out September 6, 2019. If you want to get your spooks on before Halloween.
You don't even want to see it. You hate horror movies, apparently.
I do. And for your dangerously furry treat this week, Cats. That awful CGI, it just looks bad. It's like as if Sonic the Hedgehog was a challenge to the people doing Cats.
All right. People the world over might be shocked here, but I'm going to be the detractor against the entire tide of the internet. I'm actually kind of intrigued. I do not think it is bad as the Sonic trailer, except when you kind of cherry pick certain still frames out of the continuous shot. And yeah, some of those don't look quite right. But on the whole, honestly, I feel like a lot of people who are commenting on this movie have literally never seen the musical. And I mean, that's not a bad thing because, I mean, it's been forever since that was last on Broadway, and no one's buying the home video version of Cats anymore. I don't know how I feel about it. Something about it and the choreography and the mixture of, yes, kind of, I don't know how to describe it. There's an element to the CGI that I wouldn't call goofy, but it smooths into the style of the backgrounds that they're doing. Like, they look a little cartoonish, right?
Well,
Would you agree?
Yes, but my problem is the CGI really detracts me from the awesome acting and the dancing that the actors are doing. It's not like watching Thanos take over somebody and, like, fight.
Well, that's because if they put Thanos on stage, it would look ridiculous. You ever watched The Lion King on Broadway? They came up with different ways of doing these things. In Cats, they actually tried to make them look like cats.
Well, if you wanted to check it out, we've got the link below. That's coming out December 20th, 2019. No time to fix it now. Too late. Coming out with something that I think Panda's been talking about for a while, just not the way he thought. Top Gun is getting a sequel.
There's definitely going to be another volleyball scene. You saw just a little clip of it. You know what's coming. And yeah, it probably is going to be mostly fan fodder. Fan fodder.
No, and that's exactly how I feel. It's going to be a big fart. I feel the need for speed. Speed to get away from this movie.
It's a teaser. What?
I dislike it.
That was a dad joke.
It was just Tom
dad
Cruise.
joke, Roxy.
I know. It's just Tom Cruise in this teaser. Until they get more people, I don't want anything to do with it.
They have that other guy who's been in other military movies as the 2-star admiral character going tut, 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 Maverick. I'm all ready for homoerotic volleyball 2.0. Let's do it.
I doubt it's going to be homoerotic, but...
It's do it.
The next trailer down on our list is something from Kevin Smith. We're getting Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, even though this isn't a reboot.
I mean, it's about them doing a reboot.
Which is why it's called
I got
Reboot.
a little bit unclear. All we know is that Jay's character is now a dad.
Yep. I think they're going to Comic-Con.
And Matt Damon's definitely in it.
So, if you want to watch this interesting mess, I got it in. October 15th, 2019 is when it's coming out. Finally, HBO is doing a series on the Watchmen.
It looks like The Watchmen.
It's actually a sequel to the movie.
So if you didn't like that, or if you did like that, but your favorite part of the movie was the part where they like have sex in an airship for 5 minutes, You know.
I don't think we're getting any naked blue men, although maybe we are.
I mean, the blue guy's in it. You said finally, but then you've left me 5 additional teasers/trailers to
finally
talk about.
On my part. Which, by the way, if you want to watch Watchmen on HBO, that's coming out October 2019. So...
Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 you cannot add is coming out in June of 2020, and there's a new teaser that just dropped, which you can see in the link below. Not a whole lot of extra footage per se. It's pretty short compared to the huge chunk of a preview that we got with the blood vortex over Paris. I just watched llamas with hats, so that's why I was thinking about that. My Hero Academia Season 4 has a new trailer out, and it's supposed to be the final season, which means that Attack on Titan has basically just been playing catch-up with you can't put up with our bullshit anymore, guess we better finish our show too, which is coming out via Funimation October of 2019, so
there's a
pretty
lot
close.
of shows coming out in the fall.
Yep, a lot of things are coming out in October specifically. The Steven Universe movie.
So excited! 2-year jump! Musical!
Yeah, I'm super excited for Steven Universe, Steven's Balls drop. Steven Universe battles No Heart. No, I'm sorry, not No Heart, because it's Null Heart. See, it's an inverted heart. Get it? It's like the Care Bears. It's like Jenny the Robot combined with the Care Bears plot. Oh no, they're gonna come and try to destroy Earth again with vague allusions to a far more interesting plot about disassembling the Empire. But no, we'll just stay on Earth and no one's around to help us. Okay, moving on.
September 2nd to watch that movie.
We got another little Rick and Morty teaser that looks like a segment of an episode. It's hard to describe that one. It involves apps.
The alien is voiced by Taika Waititi, so...
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, it is.
That's also coming out this fall in September of
September of 2019.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it's going to be almost 2 years that I was just expecting it to be another 2 at this point. In connection with San Diego Comic-Con, they have released a full trailer for the new series Picard, which is going to be CBS All Access only.
Unless you're not in the US and you can get it on Netflix. So I guess get out those VPNs.
It's only in America where it's viable for everyone to just be like, I want to put my hand back in that pie. I don't want to make it a supplementary access point. No, I want to be the new Netflix.
That being said, from what I understand from Streak, you need to have watched Voyager, Next Generation, and another one that I can't think of off the top of my head, just to catch up with Star Trek Picard. So, you gotta watch...
An old character returns franchise. We've never seen this before. Yes, you have to have seen everything that came before it. Have you tried watching the new Rocky movies without seeing any Rocky movies?
Well, no, I watched all the Rocky movies before watching Creed, but that's still a lot of stuff. I'm only on TOS. Star Trek Discovery just got big news. We're taking a 1,000-year jump into the future for season 3.
Ho hum.
Because, Star Trek Discovery isn't happy without time traveling messing up all of their plot lines. We just gotta continue doing it more.
The spore must flow.
We are getting more Star Trek shorts from them as well, featuring Pike, Spock, and a whole bunch of other characters, so expect to see them coming out soon. As well as a Star Trek animated series that is written by the same writer from Rick and Morty called Mike McMahon. It's going to be Star Trek Lower Decks. It's going to be a comedy about all the people who barely get any screen time ever.
I just want them to do one about Mr. Scott. Just
Scotty?
Everyday Scotty. Everyday Scotty, that's what they can call the show.
We're getting mixed reactions, however, for Star Trek Lower Decks, with some people saying that they wanted a more serious, more like Star Trek.
Serious animated Star Trek? Is that even a thing?
Yes.
No.
Yes, Star Trek the animated series.
I said serious. Did you hear the part where I said the word serious? Because that's what I said, and that doesn't exist.
And other people are just excited to kind of see a Rick and Morty spin-off of Star Trek, which is what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, a little bit. Getting away from Star Trek, how about for the Orville? The Orville Season 3 has been confirmed, unfortunately.
They're taking it off of TV broadcast.
It's now going to be Hulu exclusive, which means, unfortunately, I we'll probably not do another review of it for quite some time.
It also means that we're losing more and more sci-fi stuff from broadcast TV now. We have so much news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel, it's insane. So one of the first things is Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie is going to be the first LGBTQ hero. She's going to be searching for a queen with the first female Thor, which is going to be starring Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, female Thor, in Thor, Love and Justice. Love and Thunder.
Such a stupid name.
Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie is going to be looking for a queen to fit her king. I'm actually excited. I totally saw this coming because Valkyrie is totally, like, I just saw that vibe
I mean,
from
if
her.
it's not going to be Captain Marvel as the queen, I'm not really that interested, to be perfectly honest with you.
You know what bothers me, though, is the Natalie Portman thing. I didn't like her as Jane Foster. I don't think I'm going to like her as female Thor, but I don't know. We also got a Black Widow poster that looks like she's going to be fighting Taskmaster. So she's getting a new villain all of her own. And we're actually going
Curse you, Taskmaster! I shall unplug you! Black Widow versus Windows 95. Let's do it! Additionally, the nearly unpronounceable for Roxstar, Mahershala Ali will be playing Blade. Blade finally coming back to the big screen. I am slightly disappointed they didn't just get Wesley Snipes to do it again, but Wesley Snipes also feels like he's kind of retired at this point. I haven't seen him in anything in forever.
He was in what we do in the shadows as Blade.
Oh, spoilers!
It's such a minor cameo. If you haven't watched it, it's hilarious. You need to go see this. The Daywalker does show up in what we do in the shadows. But for the last big news of Marvel, I'm just going to give you the timeline that they put out, because they put out all of Phase 4 now, including their Disney Plus shows.
All right, go ahead.
So they include Black Widow, which is coming out May 1st of 2020. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is the Disney Plus series, fall 2020. What?
Nothing, keep going.
Eternals, November 8th, 2020. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, coming out February 12th, 2021. WandaVision, which is the Disney Plus show, spring 2021. Doctor Strange.
Oh. You said Wanda like Wanda/Vision.
WandaVision.
I thought you said WandaVision like one word.
It is one word. It's not Wanda dash, Wanda slash. It's WandaVision.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. I said it right.
There's an obvious joke in here about playing with things, and I'm just gonna let it speak for itself here. ColecoVision, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Beep, 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 beep.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, May 7th, 2021.
Reputedly a horror film.
Yeah, it's going to be apparently the scariest Marvel movie so far. Loki, which is for Disney Plus, spring of 2021. What If? So they're bringing their What If comic series to the, little screen, because it's coming to Disney Plus for the summer of 2021. Hawkeye is getting his own Disney Plus show for fall of 2021. And finally, Thor, Love and Thunder, November 5th, 2021. That was a mouthful. That was a lot of things to say.
I just feel bad for Beta Ray Bill. That's his name, right? Beta Ray Bill, the guy who kind of looks like a horse in Planet Hulk.
Yes.
Honestly, not many of these sound that interesting, mostly because they're just mashing hero names together. It feels like they're rolling the dice to see what works after the end of the Infinity Saga. Where are they even going to go with this? Like, I'm not familiar enough with the extended comics universe to know what's going to be happening in the, multiverse of madness. Didn't we just disprove the multiverse theory?
Not with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange
has
all these artifacts that can take him into, like, if you read his comics, he goes into the multiverse a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in his comics. And I mean, the whole discussion we had about the Infinity Saga right there at the end, when I was talking about that apparent to me unresolved little thread with the Ancient One, I'm still expecting that to come back into play in some way, shape, or form with multiverse. If it's going to be Multiverse of Madness, I guess that's That's what we'll find out. Capping out the San Diego Comic-Con news, we have some new awesome figurines for those of you who collect toys. Masters of the WWE Universe! A mashup between WWE and He-Man. They kind of look cool, I guess. This isn't the first time that Mattel has done something like this. They've also done crossovers with Ghostbusters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And zombies.
And, well...
Endgame has finally beat Avatar in the #1 global box office. It has been dethroned, and Avatar has put out an interesting tweet of "We recognize you and we congratulate you for beating." Of course, this really doesn't mean anything because it just means Disney wins. It's just Mickey Mouse everywhere.
And more than likely, when they do Avatar 2, whenever that happens, they'll almost certainly do another IMAX release of the original Avatar. And who knows, maybe they'll just keep swapping places for eternity, like PewDiePie and T-Series.
Well, it doesn't matter because then Disney gets more money.
Yes. Congratulations, Roxstar. You've deciphered the strategy of a major media company. Pleasant surprise, Manly Battleships got some positive press coverage recently based off of our work up at Connecticon in Hartford. This wonderful person who attended a couple of our panels did 2 separate write-ups. One on Rockstar's chronic illness panel and one on Streak's David Bowie panel, both of which you can find links to below on the Nerdable website. That's Nerdable with the E's swapped into 3's because late speak, 21st century.
So Nintendo Switch is facing a crisis. If you don't know, the Switch has 2 JoyCons. And it seems this is a real problem because I actually have had this on my Switch recently.
Uh-oh, Rockstar's gonna be joining a class action lawsuit. She'll get damages 10 years from now in the form of a check for $2.
This is all over what they call the Joy-Con drift, where after a while, possibly, I think some people have reported it starting at 4 months, probably even earlier than that, where your Joy-Cons, when you're not using them, will slowly start to drift. And that causes problem when you're playing a game. So your game character will just slowly drift in one direction or another. I know it's happened to me. Some people have all these complaints go to like going and getting it fixed and then having to go buy a new Joy-Con anyways because it breaks again. And, you know, what?
I'm just thinking about how has this not become a bigger topic of like controversy and mockery? Because I totally think that all the fanboys should, like, I don't know, get together at NAGFest and during one of the dance numbers just be like, and do the Joy-Con drift and just lean to one side.
Well, this is actually really amazing.
I'm claiming this. I'm going to register it with the Copyright Office so that Epic Games can't steal it from me. Do the Joy-Con drift.
There's actually a This
Do
is
the Joy-Con drift.
Stop!
Can't you just hear the music? Feel it through ya. Woosa!
This is a major problem for anyone who owns a Switch if you don't know. Switch new Joy-Cons cost like $75 a pop. And that is expensive to constantly have to replace. Not only that, but they just came out with they're coming out with the SwitchCon Mini, which has the Joy-Cons permanently attached, which means you can't replace those. And if you have those problems on the minis, there's no way of fixing it now, is it? We did find a guide in our research on how to fix it, so that'll be linked below.
If you are a huge fan of the Song of Ice and Fire series, or as it's more popularly known, the Game of Thrones book series, you may be interested to know that there is a $1,000 edition that was put out recently for pre-order. Unfortunately, not only could you probably not afford it, they're all gone.
Very quickly. It's like Martin didn't even get a chance to advertise it before it was gone.
All 52 copies sold out nearly instantaneously. However, if you're interested in the slightly less fancy $350 version, that's still available for pre-order. I think 750 total are going to be made. Incidentally, if the $1,000 version looks like a family Bible, it comes like
huge. It comes in a tin. It's signed by J.R.R. Martin. It has like huge illustrations. It's really insane. Not only is Netflix trying to get into the anime industry. They're also doing documentaries on the anime industry. They're coming out with a documentary called Enter the Anime. What is anime?
Huh. What is anime? Anime is action, excitement, fan service. Love those old ADV spots.
So I know that they...
Comedy!
They're planning on adding their own Netflix originals and how they were made and stuff. I don't know if they're going to go into anything further than that, but it's coming out soon to Netflix.
I wonder if they will yet again hijack some research that we put out first in panel form.
I mean, I'm waiting for the Toys That Made Us do that now too, since they're supposedly coming out with season 3 that has My Little Pony in it.
Oh boy. Maybe we just got into the wrong game, Roxy. We should just be pitching stuff to Netflix instead of pitching things to cons.
Yeah.
We can make millions. That's how your Asia Field pad got supplanted by Adam Ruins Everything. And we'll be ending things today on a very somber note. Undoubtedly, by now, you've already heard about the disaster surrounding Kyoto Animation's studio. It's one of 2 studio buildings that the company owns in addition to their corporate headquarters building. Only just a few days ago, they were the victim of an arson attack. A gentleman walked into the building and set a fire at the entrance, causing the entire building to eventually be engulfed in flames and resulting in multiple fatalities. Out of the disaster, 33 people are confirmed dead as of the last report that we got. 30 people are injured and 10 of those are in critical condition. So the number is potentially going to rise even more. And last I heard, I think there's still 1 person missing that they have not confirmed the status of yet. Mm-hmm. This is a devastating incident for multiple reasons. We're not just talking about an animation studio being put out of commission here. I know that some people have kind of phrased it that way when it comes to talking about it online. People maybe not part of the anime community. All the time they're not realizing that this also happens to be the largest mass murder attack in quite a long time. It even beats the number of people who were killed in the gassing incident back in the 90s. And that was the record holder for a long time. This is worse than that, and was perpetuated by 1 individual who is in custody, but, that doesn't help address the damage that's already been done. We know that the Kyoto Animation president has been talking about what he would like to do in the wake of the disaster. We do know that there was a lot of material that is lost because it was only stored at that particular building. We do know that certain operations of the company are currently suspended. We do also know that he has indicated he probably doesn't want to rebuild the building. If he had his choice, he would decide to demolish it and put up a memorial to the people who were killed. Right now, if you're interested in helping out, there's a couple different ways you could do that. The easiest way for you, if you're located in the United States or outside of Japan in general, Sentai Filmworks is running an official GoFundMe. It's on GoFundMe's website, right? Yes, and make sure that we'll have the link below, but if you do go Google search it, make sure that it's Sentai Filmworks, because there is a lot of, the unfortunate part when it comes to a tragedy is there's a lot of fraud out there. So you want to make sure you're going to the right GoFundMe and not just giving to somebody who's exploiting the tragedy for their own uses. It's helpful that the goal that they set, which was initially, I think, $750,000, was already doubled first day that I checked. And undoubtedly that number is going to go up, and we hope that it continues to go up, because there's only so much you can do, but there is something you can do to help them out. So we would encourage you to consider making a donation of whatever amount that you can. Crunchyroll also has, there's a bunch of stuff on Crunchyroll's website. There's a link going to be below, where they actually encourage you to send messages of love and hope and rebuilding as well to the people from Kyoto Animation. It's unfortunate that on some level you can't do anything about people who go out of their way to harm another person. What's interesting is that this incident has opened up a renewed discussion about a problem that a lot of people aren't familiar with in Japanese architecture, and that is fire escapes. The building, as you might have been able to guess from the number of victims, wasn't actually equipped with fire escapes. And this is not an uncommon thing in Japanese architecture. There is a significant lack of fire escapes and alternative exits in buildings throughout Japan. This building, in fact, one of the reasons why there were so many victims to the fire is because the guy set it at the entrance, like we said, and there was not a different way to get out of the building. You know, they say hindsight is 20/20, so hopefully something like this won't happen again, even if someone tries to perpetuate another arson attack in a different building at another time. Maybe this incident will get people to start thinking about fire safety. Even if you can't do a monetary donation, incidentally, there are other things you can do. A lot of people have started latching on to the hashtag, KyoAni, KYOANI, which is an abbreviation of both of the words, and talking about, their favorite moments from some of the media that were produced by the company. Really, the only other way that we can end on this, and it's cliche, but it's what we got in addition to trying to make a monetary donation, and that is our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the victims and the victims themselves. We still have a lot of people who are injured. We hope that they do recover. We hope that there's no more names added on to that list of people who are murder victims of this insane guy. Mm-hmm. That's the wrap up for this week in Last Week in Geek. So we hope to see you again down the road. Hopefully we will see some of you at Otakon for a much more positive experience. And we'll see you in a couple videos later in the week, which will be a little bit more cheerful, we hope. So until then, guys.
Bye-bye.